made photos and pictures of myself. I've made an exhibition of myself. But I didn't have very good luck with it, you know. I remember my third birthday party. I was 15. Me and my mum, we don't get on. We never argue or anything, but if a bus stops in front of our house, we don't get on. I used to foil the nails, and I thought, why keep them? Exit signs, they're all the way out. I've got a sponge front door. Don't lock it. You know, when I was on my flight to Italy, one of the flight attendants came up to me and they said, I don't need to alarm you, but the pilot has been replaced by a Chinese chef. He said, when we land, we're not going to turn all the lights off, we're just going to dim some. Because I used to think the plane was going to crash, and this man said to me, he said, you're far more likely to die crossing the road than you are in a plane crash. But I don't think that's true. I mean, think about it. Crossing the road is safe, whereas being in a plane crash, I think quite dangerous. I was working in a health food shop, and his fan walked in. He said, even in football, and I said, it's you to you. He said, so your chances you could have been looking. Batman came up to me, threw a vase over my head and went, tap out. I said, don't you mean cup out? He said, no, I've got time in my hands. I was working in a travel agency, this man walked in, and he said, I'd like to book a flight, short notice. I said, too late, mister. He said, you're turning into an airport. I said, is it terminal? Do you ever get that feeling when you're halfway through eating a horse, you think, oh, what was wrong with the horse? No, I've got a horse, actually. He doesn't come out much. He's a shy horse. You know, I spent the last 2 weeks sitting on a very large hard book. It was my annual holiday. And I went to this shop and I said, I want to buy some net curtains. And he said, they've got batteries. I said, that's gross. I said, I can't decide whether I want to buy this bed or not. He said, do you want to sleep on it? He said, well, of course I do. I said, how much is it? He said, £98.99. I said, make it up. You know, I always thought that Tom Cruise was a photo building for male cats. When I was on holiday, I was staying in a bed and breakfast. My friend said, passport, and I said, oh, I was totally wrong. But recently, I've taken up speed reading. I can read War and Peace in 20 seconds. I mean, it's only 3 words, but it's a start. And on competition, I won the year's supply of marbles, 1 jar. You know what they say, no man's an island, but what about the on a map? That's what my friend said, Bob Engels. You know when they say the coldest part of the flame is the orange bit? Which is a bit pointless because it's still hot. I'm sure when Joan of Arc was burning at their stake, they didn't say, Joan, get in the orange bit! My mum and dad always do things straight away. They're my media family. And I've got a friend called Dad, but I don't see that so much. Rome was built in a day, but Birmingham looks like it was. You know, I think I might be a talented photographer, because I only took 1 picture on my phone and it asked me if I wanted to work with a gallery. And then this man started throwing words in it, it began with TH. I managed to go on this there and then, but I didn't see that in it. I said, I'm going to a Swedish furniture shop and said, does it look like IKEA? I went to this nightclub and I said, have you got a 70s night? And he said, well, we used to. I said, wait, he said, in the 70s. And then I went to Pizza Express and outside it said, look out for our new menu. Well, I went in and it hit me in the back of the head. Does everyone want to hear a song? My mother speaks like this. My father speaks like this. So I speak like this, which can't be bothered embarrassing.